rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lennox is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Altercation with Tyson is the closest thing to the word fear. Lennox Lewis was born on September 2, 1965, in London. His parents were Jamaican immigrants. He was a naughty boy, and sent him to his mom, who at that time lived in Canada. From their young 12-year-old, Lennox flew over the ocean, where he saw snow and hockey, but importantly, an athletic kid fell in love with boxing. Eventually, a young talented kid won the World Junior Championship in the Dominican Republic.
I won the World Junior Championships in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and I remember the American team was saying, "Oh, well, you never fought the best." I'm like, didn't fight the best. I thought Americans said the best team. Yeah, but one guy, he doesn't like taking planes, and his manager don't like taking planes either. So I'm like, who's that? And they told me it was Mike Tyson.
Oh, that was tremendous. 27. Oh, wow.
Tyson was out for 1.5 years for biting Holyfield's ear. Then when he returned, Mike went for 5 consecutive wins that ended in the first 2 rounds, from which 2 would change their status to no contest, due to Mike's not obeying the rules. Promoters smelled the money and the hype train began. People in the industry began talking about this fight in 2001, but Lewis had to defend his title one more time against Hassan Rahman. But the right hand of Rahman nearly ruined the dreams of promoters and fans. Luckily, Lennox won spectacularly in the rematch. Their first press conference would start on January 22, 2002, and their fight would happen on the 6th of April in Las Vegas. Tyson threw his hat off and started fighting Lennox and his team. Then someone in the crowd yelled, "Give him a straitjacket." After this brawl, Nevada was closed for Tyson, and other big boxing states joined the resentment and would not allow these two to fight on their soil.
So first time Tyson actually met me, he was a nice guy, really nice guy. He took me in his room, showed me some old flicks that I've never seen before. First day in the gym, bell went, he came across and he was trying to kill me. And I remember Customado saying, "Mike, you're gonna meet him someday, don't you do that!" Always echoed in my mind that, will we ever fight? Will we ever fight? Because Customado said that we're gonna fight.
Eventually, the fight took place in Tennessee. Local sponsors had to pay $12 million to promoters to take the fight in their land. 2 fighters earned astonishingly big money. Tyson earned $30 million and Lewis $25. Lennox was a favorite in 2-to-1 ratio. Many experts thought it was 4-to-1, but Mike always had that magic around his name, so people would still bet on Mike. It was the first-time experience for Tyson to be an underdog in the fight.
Mike, what's it like for you tonight? It's the first time you go into a fight where you're an underdog.
I just feel wonderful. I don't care what people say. The majority of people that take the bets on fight, they don't know much about fighting. I'm confident in my ability and I know what I can do.
Customado took care of young prospective, motivated kid till he became heavyweight champion. When Lennox came to spar with Mike, Cus predicted that these two would meet one day. Since the training session in 1984, Tyson would become the absolute heavyweight champion of the world in 1987, and Lewis had won the 1988 Olympic gold medal in heavyweight and only turned pro in 1989. While Tyson was knocking heavyweights left and right, Lewis was just climbing the heavyweight boxing ladder. It was not possible due to Tyson rising and shining in the late 80 seconds, while Lennox's prime was in the late 90 seconds, right when Tyson went to jail for 3 years and was disqualified for 1.5 years. Lewis was a lineal champion and Tyson was there to reclaim his champion title for a 3rd time. Iron Mike was crazy kind, so to not mess things up, Lewis' team asked for the extra security on the ring. And for the first time ever, there was a human chain of security across the ring. The beginning of the fight inspired those who put money on Tyson, as Tyson started to fight as he did back in those days, aggressively and viciously. But Lewis was not going to be a punching bag for Tyson and to Mike's aggression.
Stacking up a unlike what Manny Stewart told them.
responded with his own bad uppercut combination. And of course, clinching the smaller man was the game plan to stop Tyson's flow. The most memorable moment in this round was the left hook from Tyson, which Lewis obviously felt. In round number 2, Lewis would start stopping Mike with his constant jab, which was a big problem for him. And when Tyson shortened the distance, Lennox would throw an uppercut. Tyson started to press Lennox and landed another left hook on the chin, which made Lennox more cautious of Mike's power, and he began to fight more carefully. Cus D'Amato taught him how to destroy, but never taught him about all the hate that Mike would have to face and deal with on his journey to Olympia. Tyson wouldn't train as well. His unhealthy lifestyle, drug usage, and nightclubs wouldn't be as problematic for most of his career. Luckily for him, the effect of this lifestyle just started to kick in the late stages of his career. When Lennox, after his attack, pushed Tyson, everybody knew the outcome of this fight just by the way Tyson fell and how hard he was standing up. In the 5th round, Lewis was only using his jab and seldom throwing his strong right. Lennox corners have gone mad seeing Lennox not working on 100% of his abilities. Little did they know Lewis broke his right hand and was scared to tell his corners when Emmanuel Stewart was screaming at him.
And then knocked him out with a big shot in the fighting.
Scolding from corners worked really well, because Lewis stopped feeling sorry for his hand and his bully. From that moment on, Tyson only fought from his heart. He was exhausted and had nothing to show to his opponent. Lewis started to land his biggest blow of the fight. Mike was eating them and still stepping forward. Surprisingly, in round 8, Lewis began to slow down. Tyson threw all he had at Lennox. Sadly, all he had was just some sluggish attacks. But then Lewis caught slow Tyson right in the chin. Despite Tyson not touching the ground, the referee took it as a knockdown and started his countdown, allowing Tyson to recover after getting rocked. But it could not save him from the inevitable end, which came very soon. The clean right hand ended one of the biggest fights in the history of the sport.
Tokyo, and the one time he got the buster. It's at the end of the 8th round, and perhaps the end of the fight.
People were not happy to see Mike lose. They wanted to see their old Mike, who was doing miracles, at least for this very day. But what they were dealt with is the old rusty iron, foreign boring fighter beat and knocked fans' favorite. He knocked out the monster who on the live broadcast said that he wants to eat Lewis' kids. But as it always happens, fight eases all the tension between the men. The last thing you see is Tyson getting the sweat out of Lennox's face.